welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. This is really a continuation of the one that I done last week, which was about opening up your third eye. This is actually telling you what you may experience or expect to experience, and the whys and the wherefores on whether you should do it or not. Hope you enjoy. Hi guys, Gothic Witch here. Hope you're all doing well. This is a follow-on to the last video that I did. I wanted to share some of the signs that you will start to see happening or feel happening after opening your third eye. These things may be scary to those that are not expecting them, and I wanted really to tell you one of the very first signs that you know that your third eye is starting to open is a feeling just here of like a sort of pressure. Some people it's like a pressure, some people it's more like a little tingling or a pressure feeling. And you just know, you can feel it. It just feels that there's something there that wasn't there before. A bit like when you wear glasses and you get that feeling around the nose area some people get with glasses. Well, it's the same sort of thing, but it's here and it feels a little bit warm. That is one of the very first signs. And then after that, you have a few days, I'd say, when that starts happening. You then start to feel, and it's the most strangest feeling ever, that you're not alone, that somehow there is something with you. It's not scary, but it feels like there's something or someone with you, that you're not alone, and it can become quite intense. So that is, I'd say, number two. You start to feel this increased pressure and you start to feel not alone. And then after a few days of that, if you keep on with all the meditations and stuff, the next thing you will feel is you suddenly know things. You suddenly see things in a slightly different way. Like when you go out, you can look at people and seem to know what's going on. Like if they're miserable or they're happy and they could have quite blank faces, but you will know, you will pick up that there's something going on. Again, when you shut your eyes at night, you will get swirling colours. Not everybody gets this, but those that are going to open up very quickly will see like these purpley colours, like they comes round like a pinwheel, and in between you might get greens and yellows. Some people see all sorts of colours, some people just see a black wheel with white. It's all signs that your pineal gland is expanding and that your third eye is opening, and this is what you're attaining to get. So do not be frightened, because all this is going to literally enlighten you and lift you to a different level of existence. Now, after the swirling that you get, you might start to get vivid dreams that you've never had before, dreams like where everything's in colour, for example. You may have been somebody that used to dream in black and white, but all of a sudden you will start to see colour in your dreams. You will start to get dreams that seem to be like a TV serial that carry on. Every time you dream, you get a bit further in the story. And when you get these, this is like a perception that's growing within. So what you really need to do is write these things down. Again, it will come slowly, but as your eye is opening, it is allowing different aspects that you've never accepted before into your being, and this will have a profound effect on you as a person. You will go from being sort of a dual to being completely open. So everything that you thought you knew before will change, and these things you need to be ready for. So after that, you probably will have a little bit of a plateau where things will just calm down and be the same. And this intense feeling, you will get used to it, and eventually you won't know that it's actually that pressure there. Now also, some people will get very bad headaches, a bit like eye strain. Sometimes your sight will be a little bit like, if you're in the light will hurt your eyes more, and you find that wearing sunglasses is more of a must when you go out, because the light is coming into your brain, into the third eye too. You've got to realise that even though we symbolise it as an eye, it is an opening, and you are opening another way into you. So you will notice that light will be a little bit more, you'll get used to all this, but at first these are the things that you will perceive. And again, my friends, I don't want you to be scared. If this is something that you want to do with your lives, you need to be prepared for what you're going to experience, and see it as an experience, because not everybody does this. So, and everybody has this ability. Everybody has a pineal gland, everybody has a third eye, but not everybody opens it all up. And once you've opened it up, there's no going back. Once you've opened it up, it takes a lot of work to shut it down again. I mean, it is possible, but only in very serious circumstances where the person it's affected them very badly. But normally, once you've opened the pineal gland, it just grows, expands and softens, and so the third eye becomes more and more open. And as you progress and train yourself in those abilities, you then find that the sky's not the limit, that you will perceive things in a way that only you will understand. For you, that the all-seeing eye, as they call it, is literally that. It will open your mind to things that you've never thought of before, to things that you've never seen before, to things that you've never heard before, because that is the next step. You will start to, first of all, I know with me, it was like I'd see something out of the corner of my eye, not quite seeing it, but knowing that there was something there. Again, after a few weeks of that happening, I used to hear a little voice sort of in the distance, like someone was calling me, but it was from the distance, not quite hearing it, what the word was or what they were saying, but knowing that it was aimed at me. That is a time when it can become a little bit scary, because you don't know. All of a sudden, when you thought you was alone in a room, you realise, no, there's something with me, no, there's something around me that I don't know what it is, and it can be a bit scary if you're not up to that sort of thing, and it's these things would scare you, then it's not for you to be doing. After that, you'll probably have another plateau for a while, and in that time you need to jot down exactly what's going on so that you can look over the things that's happening and come to terms with it and use it to your benefit, because at the end of the day you're not doing this just for fun. So if you want to be using it in your practice, then you need to then meditate on what's happening to you and see if you can get a breakthrough in, like, so for example, you've heard someone or something calling your name, so you meditate upon it and you say to the feeling that you have of someone with you, say to that person, I know you're with me, I don't know who you are, will you please let me know who you are so that we can talk and I can understand. And I will guarantee you, after a few meditations, and they don't have to be long meditations, this being or this energy that is with you will start to communicate with you, and that will make you feel more okay about it, and it will help you to learn, because it won't be like somebody saying, hey, hi, I'm your friend, I'm with you. It will be like a knowing, like a voice in your head, but it's just there and you will know, and it will help you to feel calm. And after that, if you hear things, it won't be so drastic, because you can say, who is that? What is that? And you will get a thought in your mind, or you might even hear a voice saying, it's okay, it is such and such, and they're not here to hurt you, they're here to help you on your path. Right, after that, you'll have another reprieve, because all these things have to happen in a certain way, because the third eye is a very delicate organ. It is very much like your actual eyes, and so has feelings in it like the optic nerve, and too much overstretching will give you severe headaches and severe depression, and you don't want to go down that avenue, because depression can go hand in hand with this, because in a way you are getting rid of the old you and becoming a new you, and you can't change that. That will never go back. You are more wise. You now know there are things that you never knew existed. Before you didn't know. So there is a big transformation, and it's a little bit like Christian baptism. You die to the self and become the new. So you have to expect that you are going to be a different person. You are still the same person, but with different outlook, different way of viewing things, different way of knowing things, and a perception that you never had before. And all these things take time, and you don't want to be doing it too quickly. It's a shock to the body, to the soul, to the mind. You want to take it slowly, you want to open slowly, because at the end of the day, this is the new you, and you need to be comfortable with it. Okay guys, I know this sounds really heavy, but it was something that I needed to let you understand that if you want to be doing this, you're going to have repercussions. But for those that are really happy with what's happening, good on you, and really revel in it, because this is something that you have opened your mind to. Just think, you now know the concept of the universe, the concept of the one, the concept of everyone is the one, that there is no separations, there is no one person, one person, one person. It is all one. The universe is all one. But until you actually get to that stage, you will not realise that. And this is not me trying to tell you what it's like, because everybody's different and everybody sees and feels in a different way. So the next step, you may start to see shadow people. Now, shadow people aren't the evil objects that a lot of people make them out to be. Shadow people are because you have not connected fully, so you cannot actually physically see who they are, but they are there, and they're letting you know that they are there. They often don't do anything, they often just stand there, and if you don't like them, you just say, excuse me, but I don't want you here, and then you do your protection stuff, and they won't come back. Only if you put your protection up though, and only if you keep them out of your mind. If you want to just see the light beings, then you need to upstage yourself. You need to walk up a staircase in your meditations to get to a higher level. And once you're there, you can, in fact, see the higher beings. So that will be the next step, to journey. And this is what you can do with your third eye open, to journey. Now, you don't need drugs, you don't need anything. All you need is you, your mind, your soul. And once you've opened up your third eye, you will be able to do it. It won't be easy to start with, because it is a form of astral travelling. And with that, you need to be able to leave your body and to travel. You will not come unstuck if you are sensible. A good exercise for this is to sit in a chair and to close your eyes, to get into that state of real relaxation, but be focused at the same time, as we did in the other examples, the other meditations that was in the last video. Once you get into that state of being really, really relaxed but focused, you then imagine yourself standing in front of you. Now that's quite hard. Sometimes you need to look at yourself in the mirror before you do it, so you get it imprinted, visualized into your mind. So when you're in that state and you close your eyes and you see yourself standing in front of you, not as a picture but as a person, you then think that you are them. So you're basically transferring your energy into your ethereal body, which is what you've actually made by visualizing yourself. And what you do is you start to imagine what it feels like to be them. Then when you've done that, try to see yourself sitting in the chair. And once you can get to that stage, you are then in your astral body. Then you lift your arm and you show yourself your hand and stuff like that, but you see yourself still sitting there, not moving. Does that make sense? It's quite hard to start with, but with practice and with the third eye being open, it will become attainable. Once you get to that stage, you can go wherever you want. You haven't got to worry, because you are attached to your physical body by a very thin silver thread. They sometimes call it the spiritual umbilical cord, and it will stretch with you wherever you go. Just do not stay out of your body to start with for too long, because you don't want to overdo it. You want to take these things very slowly, because that is the safest way. Now, to come back, you think, how do I come back? It is difficult to start with, but you have to do the process again. So you find yourself back, you just think you want to be in your room, you will be there. Once you're in your room, you look at you sitting in the chair and you start to think how it feels to be sitting in the chair. And once you feel that you're sitting in a chair, open your eyes, your ethereal body eyes, and look at who you made. And then you just say, be gone. And that body becomes back into you. You won't feel that happen, but you will be back in your body. And then after a few minutes, open your eyes and, move yourself around, and then eat something and drink something, because that will ground you. Now, a warning here. Once you've managed to do this, it can become a little bit like a drug. And guys, that is normal. It is something you've learned to do, and it's something that you really want to do. and it becomes like you can't think of anything else. You just want to get home and see what abilities you've learned and what you can do with your body and your mind and your soul that no one else that you know can actually do. And that becomes exciting, and it's something that you want to do. Now, the risk on this is that you want to come away from everything around you and just be alone and just be in your own little world. And that is where the dangers lie. That is the dangerous thing, because you don't want to be doing that. You are not above all humankind. You are not above. You are still that same person you was. You have different abilities that you never had before. You have to take it slowly. Now, I would not do more than one astral travel per week. And everything that you do in that astral travelling, you need to write down, because you can't just be sitting here and there and going everywhere and not taking the responsibility of your actions, because you will start to do things that, like for example, you might suddenly think, hey, I'm going to go and have a look at what my son's up to. And you might start to interfere in other people's lives. This is not what it is meant for. It is meant for spiritual work. It is meant for you to be aiding others, not spying on them, not doing things that because you know you can do it. So you have to retain that part of you that is not inquisitive as such. Be guided, because your guides are waiting there to meet you on the astral planes and to teach you. So that is where you should really be aiming your astral travel to the sphere or the place where your guides will draw you to. And when you go there, listen to them, understand what you're being taught, and write it all down when you come back. Now, I don't want to prolong this because it's a lot to take in, but they are the main things that you will feel. And if this is scary to you, then please don't do it, because it is very real. It is not something you can just do and then forget about, because once you've opened it, you can't shut it as such. You can border it up, but you can't shut it away. Your eye is open, and that means that you are susceptible. So think very strongly if it's not what you really want. On that subject, I am going to say to those that really want to do it, have a good time with it. Explore your inner you and explore what you will be able to achieve in a very helpful way. Because this gift, and that is what it is a gift. The reason it's shut away is because it's only for those that really know what they're doing with it and really want to be helping others with it. So it is a gift. It is definitely a gift. And once open, you will feel different, and it will change you. For the better, not for the worse. It's on the exercise on how to do it, and it's called Opening Your Inner Eye, Why and How, Walking the Path of the Shaman. Now, it tells you on that video how to go about it and why we do it on the shamanic path, because that is what the shamanic path is all about. You know, it is knowing things that others don't. It is travelling on the paths. It is going to other places, and it is using that knowing within to help and aid others and healing, etc. You use it in a way that others don't. So if that's your path and you want to do that, then that's great. But I would advise you watch that exercise and see how far you are advanced anyway. A lot of you will probably be well advanced anyway. But this is just a guide for those that don't know anything about it, and not the dangers but the pitfalls and the things that you will have to deal with if you go ahead. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to say thank you to those that follow. Wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be. I wish you the best ever. House of Elaine.